This is John Gulager, and you're listening to WithoutYourHead.com.
All right, and we're back. Welcome to Without Your Head, and we're joined by Judah Friedlander, who is the beer guy from The Feast, among many other films. Welcome to Without Your Head.
Thanks, man. Good to hear you guys.
Yeah, we finally got you on the show.
Yeah, man. Very cool.
Yeah. Well, let's get right into the interview. Were you a horror fan before doing The Feast?
Yes, I was, and I am. Yeah. So it was.
Oh, you still are.
It was a big thrill to do because I'd always wanted to do one, and it was fun to finally do one. Yeah. Right.
How did you get the role? Did they come to you, or was it something that you pursued?
No, I'll tell you, no one submitted me for it. I do stand-up comedy, and this guy, Mike Riccadonna, who used to book a club in New York, the club was having a showcase for Miramax. It was a couple years ago, and basically the club was just putting on the comics that were represented by the owner of the comedy club, which I was not. Mm-hmm. But this guy wanted it to be a good show, so he put me on. So I went on at the end of the showcase. It went great, and this woman, Katrina Wolf, who does casting for Miramax, what's now the Weinstein Company. She was there. She loved the set. And I said, hey, look, if you got any projects coming up, let me know. I'd love to be considered for them or audition for them or whatever. And she was like, well, there actually might be this one. And then, Feast. And she sent me, she said it was a new Project Greenlight movie. Mm-hmm. Then she said, yeah, it's for this character, Beer Guy. And I figured since the character's name was Beer Guy, it was just going to be like a little two-line thing or something like that. And I got the script, and I don't even think I read it the first week, so I'm like, oh, great, I was hoping it was something bigger. And then I picked it up, and I was like, oh, shit, this is a big part. And I thought the script was really good, and I thought it was really funny. And then, like, a week or two later, they just called me up and offered it to me. So that was it. I didn't have to audition or anything. I kind of lucked out on it.
How much of the Beer Guy was, like, written, and how much of it was, like, ad-libbed by you?
I'd say it was mostly written, and maybe, I can't remember, I think maybe 30% was made up. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm. How long
it was a mix.
Yeah. How long did it take to get the makeup on?
It took quite a while, and I couldn't give you an exact time, because it would always happen at like 5 in the morning, and I was barely awake.
Right.
But it would take a long time, and actually, not too long. I mean, because there weren't that many actual, like latex prosthetics they had to apply. There was some stuff for the eye when the eye was gouged out.
Right.
But probably like an hour, probably about an hour or two. I don't know. But then it needed maintenance throughout the day. Because I was just pretty much, soaking wet, all day.
Did you enjoy wearing the makeup and especially seeing yourself afterwards?
Loved it. Yeah. Yeah.
Was that your first time you ever covered with maggots?
First time with maggots, yes, sir. And it was my idea because I wanted the maggots, coming on my head when, being on my head when we were doing when I was trying to get my head washed and stuff. But it was my idea to get them in my mouth and up my nose and stuff. Because I figured, with this movie, the grosser things are, the more gross it would be, and I think the funnier it would be too.
Right.
The idea was, the more my character gets obliterated, the better.
Mm-hmm. You said they were your idea. Did you go out and find them yourself, or were they supplied?
No. The maggots were in the script, but it was my idea to actually put them in my nose and in my mouth.
All right.
Yeah, they weren't asking me to do that. I volunteered that.
Was it a fun cast to work with?
Yeah, it was great. It was great, man. Jenny Wade, Balthazar Getty, Rollins, Clue. It was great. Everyone was really cool.
Do you think it's hard to get kind of a comedy horror movie right? Sometimes I guess you can put too much comedy in it.
I think it's hard to get either one right. And comedy horror, I think that's hard too. Yeah, I think any kind of movie to make it good, I think is difficult. I really do. Mm-hmm. And I think some people. I think with any genre, a lot of people get kind of lazy and they think it's not that hard. But it really takes everyone in the crew, from the lowest level person up to the highest, to be to be really giving it their all, you know. Like one little department messing up could really mess up a whole movie.
What were some of your favorite horror movies before you went into the feast?
Oh, that I liked, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I think the best horror movies are kind of B movies. I think by a B movie, I mean maybe not a Hollywood mainstream movie and not the biggest budget and not the biggest stars.
Like The
It
Stuff.
doesn't mean that it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
So The Stuff that's a good horror comedy, actually.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of The Stuff.
I like a lot of Larry Cohen stuff. The Stepfather, I think, is a really good one. There's a movie from the early 70s called Let's Scare Jessica to Death. It doesn't really have any gore in it, but it's a really great, creepy, kind of scary movie. I like all the 80s and 70s David Cronenberg movies.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much all, you know, Scanners, Videodrome, Dead Ringers, The Fly. I like all those. Yeah, The Brood. Yeah, all those. Yeah.
I've heard that you wanted to make your own movie someday. Was there any ideas of what you'd like to make?
Yeah, I have a bunch of movies I want to make. I definitely want to, you know, make comedies and, you know, some more mainstream than others. And I don't want to do a lot of weird stuff too. You know, I want to do some of those, you know, like funny, no budget, you know, blood and tits, you know, horror movies, you know, horror comedies. I definitely want to do some of those. I have an idea for one of those I'm working on.
And it'll be women's.
I really like exploitation movies. I think there's something about them that I just really like. I've always liked.
One of our fans, Evan, he wanted to know if you had any advice for an upstart comedian.
Yeah, is he on the phone or you know?
He's on a message
wherever you're
board.
at.
Yeah.
He's on a message board. Yeah, wherever you're at, man. I don't know where he lives, but wherever you're at.
He's in California.
He's in California, man. There's tons of places. Yeah. Almost every comedy club has an open mic, or there's some bar that has an open mic night. Just, you know.
He's 14 now.
Right out. Doesn't matter. Do it. You can certainly start writing jokes and stuff, you know. Just keep writing and try to perform as much as you can. You know, there's plenty of places you can get up. Some clubs even have, you know, like, you know, kids' nights where they can do comedy.
Yeah. I actually think he does that.
Yeah, but 14's not too young to start. It really isn't.
What would be the best way to handle a heckler?
Heckler, you know, I always try to, you know, diffuse the situation, and certainly being funnier than the heckler always helps.
Yeah.
And you can't lose your cool, man. You know what I mean? You can't lose your cool. And, you know, and you can't let them dictate. You can't let the heckler dictate where things are going. You got to dictate it. You know?
That one was for us.
If they heckle you with a question, you don't have to answer it, man. You can just slam the person immediately. Because if you answer their question, then they're kind of taking charge.
Right.
You're in.
Have you been off?
You can't give the heckler any respect, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you can't give an opening.
Yeah.
Have you been offered any other horror movie roles?
You know, I just got offered a little role in Cabin Fever 2.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, Cabin Fever 2, so, you know, nothing's solidified yet. Hopefully it'll happen.
Yeah.
I would love to do more horror movies. It seems to me like Hollywood in general doesn't really understand horror movies. Like, they understand that they make money, but then they just kind of cast them like any other movie where they just try to get the youngest and best-looking people to be in them.
Right.
Instead of people that actually, like, specialize in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think they kind of lack a little realism if they have too many good-looking people.
Yeah, exactly, because it's like, you know, they kind of have drama and comedy as specialties, even though they mess those up all the time. But horror, they just really have no idea. And there's so many horror movies made, I think, where the actors don't know the horror genre at all. And to me, that's probably going to hurt the movie, you know?
I want to ask you a question about American Splendor, because that's one of my favorite movies. Sure. Were you a fan of Harvey Pekar and the comic book before you did the movie?
You know, I don't think I knew about Harvey Pekar before doing the movie. And when I first got the audition, you know, I did tons of research, and I became fans of everything. and through doing the movie and everything. But I did not know about him beforehand.
Mm-hmm. After you read him, who was your favorite artist that drew him? For me, it'd definitely be Crumb.
I can't remember. I mean, I love Crumb stuff, and I can't remember all the other guys' names. I mean, I know Gary Dumm's stuff, but I don't know. And there's another guy, and I'm forgetting his name, whose stuff I like. But yeah, I love all the Crumb stuff. I mean, I love that guy's stuff.
Yeah, I was wondering, were you worried at all that Toby?
It definitely seems the most perverted and twisted, and I tend to always like stuff like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was wondering if you were worried at all that Toby might think you were trying to make fun of him during your impression of him.
Yeah, that did cross the mind. What crossed my mind more was not getting it right.
Yeah.
I met Toby the night before we started filming. Super nice guy. We got along immediately, and that was really never an issue, because he knew I wasn't trying to do that, and I knew that too, and I was just trying. He was flattered about the whole thing. I still keep in touch with Toby. He's a good guy.
Oh, cool. I know his favorite was Pina Colada for the Jelly Bellies. Would that be your favorite?
Yeah, those are pretty damn good.
Yeah. I'm kind of a buttered popcorn man myself.
Yeah, I can't even remember which one would be my favorite, but that one is pretty good. Anything kind of sweet and tart I like.
Is there any?
I don't really care for chocolate jelly beans.
No, I'm not really. No.
No. Let's keep it to general jelly bean type flavors.
Yeah.
I might have to be going here.
All right. Well, is any upcoming appearances? Want to tell me about?
I got to get going. Yeah, my website. You can always check it out.
All right, check out JudahFriedlander.com.
JudahFriedlander.com, and Chapter 27 is going to be at Sundance this year, and I did a dark comedy called what's it called? The Darwin Awards. Mm-hmm. That's going to be out next year, and you can see me every Thursday night at 9:30 on NBC on 30 Rock.
TV. All right, cool. And maybe you can restock the nude photos before Christmas.
Yes, I'm going to have some new photos soon.
All right. Thanks, man. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
This is Kyle Gass of Tenacious D. You're listening to Without Your Head.